Hey guys, this is Justin from thecarflip.com, and right now I'm answering a question from Shane. We sent out an email not long ago that basically said, ask me anything, or what can I help you with? And so we had several questions, and I've been going through them one by one. But Shane asks, basically, when do you know that you know enough mechanically to be able to flip cars? And then he had another question, which we'll kind of answer together. How do you estimate, or when do you feel comfortable estimating repair costs on these cars that you're looking at? So he mentions that he's changed tie rods. I think he said he changed a master cylinder. He's done some basic things on vehicles, and I'll just let you know how it was when I started. When I started flipping cars, I knew honestly nothing. I actually had never changed brakes myself when I actually started flipping, so I kind of learned as I went. I would get a car, I would usually kind of look it over to see the basics as I'm driving, and am I hearing any noises that aren't normal? Are there any lights on the dash that aren't supposed to be there? So basically check engine light, ABS light, airbag light. Is there anything lit up that's not supposed to be lit up? And then you've got noises. Are there any noises the engine's making that doesn't sound normal? And so for me, I started out knowing absolutely nothing. Now I had the benefit of my dad knowing way more than I did, and actually knowing a lot of people that we could reference things with. So if I had a car that needed an engine, I had a good contact right out of the gate that could do an engine for me for about 300 bucks. So I had a lot of help starting out that maybe you don't have, which is why I wanted to start this website to begin with, because I know a lot of people are interested, but they don't have that dad they can talk to. They don't have that, fill in the blank that they can go ask a question, which is the cool thing about our website and also our Facebook group. You mentioned that it's awesome the Facebook group is so active, and I've really enjoyed interacting with a lot of you guys. And it's really awesome when someone asks a question and sometimes I'm about to go answer it and I see that 3 people have already helped them. That's really cool. I really enjoy being a part of that group. But to me, it sounds like you know plenty to get started. I would say if you knew half what you know, or a quarter of what you know, you would be ready to get going, because when you buy that first car, the good thing about buying from individuals is you get to test drive the car, you get to take a code scanner. I've actually got one with me right now. I'm driving a Ford Fusion. We're doing a readiness monitor test. We're down to 2 incompletes on the readiness monitors. I got to knock down 1 more. But you can take this with you. You can scan their computer. You can see if they've reset the check engine light. You can listen for the noises. You can, listen for the shakes or feel for the shakes and shimmies as you're driving. So you're going to know up front, hopefully, sort of what you got. And then when you get home, you can look it over a little bit better and address small issues here and there. But for me, I guess when I'm thinking mechanically, how much do you need to know to get started? You really just need to be confident in your ability to learn as you go. Because as you buy different cars, you're going to encounter different problems. A lot of them that you probably had no idea even existed, or that you could even have. So let's say for me, I got this 2008 Ford Fusion, and let's say right now I've got a low tire pressure light. I've not actually checked the tire pressure in this, but sometimes you're going to fill the tire pressure up and you're still going to have a low tire pressure light. Why is that? It's because you have a tire pressure monitor that needs replaced. Now, most of the time I don't worry about replacing those. I just explain it and say it's just a simple sensor. It's 30 bucks. Nothing's wrong with the tire. Or you could spend the 30 bucks and then spend the 10 to 15 to have someone pop the tire off, put it in, and you're good to go. Right now I've got a 2000 Pontiac Bonneville that has a EGR code. I replaced the EGR. I went on eBay, bought one for like 20 bucks, 2 bolts, easy, put it on. I still have an EGR light, so my mechanic is looking at it now, and so we're going in to check a few different things. But a lot of it is learn as you go, and also have good contacts on the mechanic side. That's one of the contacts. That's one of the 3 people that I say you absolutely must know. You've got to have a mechanic, you've got to have a body guy, and then it's good to know somebody, if you can, in the car dealer space, just to ask questions to reference things off of. But you definitely want to know a mechanic, one that you can take things to that are over and above, I guess you could say, your pay grade. For me, you mentioned you've never replaced an engine or done a timing chain or that kind of thing. For me, neither have I. I've never replaced a complete engine. I tried to once on a Porsche 944 with a friend of mine. Probably wasn't a good one to start with the first time, because the engine actually had to go in from the bottom, so we had to put this car up on a lift. We had a chain going through the engine compartment, the engine bay, and so we're trying to put this thing up and twist it in to connect with the transmission, and it didn't work out the best. So but from there, I've never tried it because I had someone that could do it for me. For 300 bucks, 400 bucks, someone could put an engine in for me. And so instead of me going out there and driving myself crazy which I probably could do it if I tried. I don't have any desire to. Timing chains, I really don't want to spend the time learning how to adjust this and adjust that and making sure I time it right, because if you mess up, you're looking at even bigger problems. So I would much rather have my mechanic do it. I actually have a mechanic now that I'm talking to do some more side work for me, that we're talking in the $35 to $40 an hour range from a labor rate standpoint. So depending on the timing chain, I've got a Ford Explorer right now, which costs like 11.3 hours. So take 11.3 times 35, rough numbers, we're around 400 bucks. I would much rather pay him $400 to do it, me buy the $60 kit, to be at $460 on a timing chain job, than for me to go out there and get it halfway apart and not be able to figure it out. So some things you're just gonna have to draw the line and say, nah, it's not gonna be for me, I'm not gonna do that. But for brakes, for oil changes, for checking a check engine light and having an EGR code and replacing the EGR yourself, even if you've never done an EGR, for me, if I was to Google 2000 Pontiac Bonneville EGR and put that in YouTube, you're gonna have several videos of people walking you through it step by step how to do it. Google and YouTube are gonna be your best friends on these kind of things, but the biggest thing is just learn as you go. And that goes hand in hand with your question about how do you know, or when will you be more comfortable with assessing the costs that come along with these repairs. After you have replaced a CV joint yourself or had someone do it, you're gonna know that a CV joint will cost anywhere from $35 to $50, $60, depending on if you buy from Advance or if you buy it on the internet. You'll eventually get a feel for which parts are cheaper where. So is Advance the cheapest place for struts, or should you go to Amazon or eBay? I've had better luck on eBay. eBay, you can't beat the price on struts. You can get a whole set for under $100 most times. So you're gonna know where to buy the parts. You're gonna know roughly what the labor is going to be. So struts are pretty similar from vehicle to vehicle. There's definitely some variances, but you're going to know that roughly a strut, and I'm making this number up, if you pay somebody to do it, it's $65 per side. So you're going to get an idea on that kind of thing as you go, and I think you'll kind of figure out as you go that different things call for different types of labor. And for me, I kind of stick in the same type vehicle, so I don't get fancy when it comes to what I'm buying. I buy and I sell what I know, and I'll add a vehicle here and there and add it along and along and along. But for me, I'm an expert on the vehicles I sell, so when I run into issues, I generally know where to go because I've encountered that issue before. So I hope that helps and gives you some clarity there. If you have any other questions or any follow-up questions to this one, I'd be more than glad to help you out. But we'll see you guys in the next video.